Morning, everybody. Brandon here. Just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit this morning as I had my coffee. I was reading an article. The article was about all the various email marketing strategies. And one topic of conversation that came up in the article was the question, is cold email marketing still effective or is it just spam? And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about that and what my thoughts are involving that specific thing. So, cold email marketing, still effective. The long and the short of it, to me, again, this is anecdotal opinions, but I believe that cold email marketing is terrible for industries that have already been oversaturated with that type of thing. So if you are like me and you get thousands of emails over, each month, and you can kind of go through the pattern of, okay, I get spam email from health insurance, I get spam email from auto insurance, I get spam email from all these industries where I have accidentally, or maybe they've scraped my data off of whomever, and they've shared data between all these different data brokers. But the industries that do that type of thing and do outreach 10, 15 times a day to a single person, I think cold email marketing, from a consumer standpoint, we have been so inundated with that and we've desensitized ourselves to that exact thing. So every time I get an email personally, and I can recognize off of the title whether it's going to be spam of some sort or it's going to show me an offer. I mean, credit cards are the worst. I get emails and I get mail from a credit card saying, we have an offer for you. And then they'll insert some random number and they'll put it in a professional or a government style envelope and send it to you. And that's just crazy. I don't understand why they can't make it a standard envelope so I don't get it and expect the IRS, or expect a government document that says, oh, you're here for jury duty, or insert anything here. My heart races a little bit every single time I get one of these from what's essentially spam email and spam mail. And so I think from those sides of the industries, cold email marketing is not effective anymore unless you're looking at it from a law of big numbers stance. So if I buy from a data broker a certain amount of emails and I then in turn email however many people, and one person out of 1,000, for example, generates me $150, and I bought that list for $149. Well, essentially, I made $1 on that, regardless, because I have no morals or ethics in this scenario. I get to spam 100,000 people, and I will make $1,000 or an extra percent here or there. And the law of big numbers says that this is still a profitable business from that standpoint. But if you're looking for something like customer retention, or you're looking at quality customers versus spamming the individual, your best bet is not going to be cold email marketing in these industries. That's despite, I'm not even talking about the moral and ethical implications. You're talking about buying a list from a third party who, illegally scraped person's data off of whatever website here that did not agree to any TCPA compliance or cookies or anything like that. And they sell the data and basically pawn off the responsibility of legality. So you have that implication. And then you just have the ethical and moral implications of, hey, I'm blasting all these people with no real intent. And basically, if my collection of businesses here spam everybody, I get an extra $1, but now all those people have to sift through and have to deal with all of the potential phishing and the potential scams that end up happening. If you're a senior, you're more likely to get hit with one of these blast, or a scammer can email you at just the right time where you're clicking through trying to delete emails and you just happen to open the wrong one because they've kind of eked their way in under this email blast. And so just the long and the short of it, my opinion is cold email marketing is not effective for any type of industry that has already spammed the public to the nth degree for the past 20 years, ever since email marketing has started. But there's a caveat. So if we go over to cold email marketing for something like, let's say a church knows their audience and kind of has a understanding about what resonates with their patrons, right? So if I, as a church, develop a cold email marketing strategy around gathering new members using the behaviors of the current members, because it is not a known spam industry, or it's less likely to be filled with spam or with scams or anything like that, I think the likelihood of cold email marketing strategy in this would be more valuable to that industry. If we take another industry, such as, what would be a good one? Any services really that's more of a home service, I think has more credibility to cold email marketing. If I was to look at solar installers, for example, most solar installers are profitable based on they buy their panels at wholesale, they install for a discount to the consumer, and then they make a profit off of what they are able to sell back to the grid, and sell essentially split profits between the homeowner and the solar installer itself. So I don't know what the rate is for gigawatt hour or kilowatt hours is in a particular industry or a particular area, but when you use email marketing and you can send out one email essentially for 2 cents, and your likelihood of conversion rate on a person giving you a call for a quote, or maybe somebody who actually converts through an email at a rate of 1 out of every 10, because you're sending something that's more trustworthy for the audience itself, then you get into that situation where, okay, I only need to send 50, for example, 50 cold emails for 2 cents a piece, and then turn around and out of every 50 emails, I get 2 to 3 phone calls. Well, I, as the solar installer, say 1 out of every 3 phone calls ends up being a $2,000 solar installation over the lifetime value of 12 months. Well, then the margins are just there. It just makes sense. You have the high trust factor, you have the reliability of the industry, you have the longevity of the service itself, and then coming back to the actual conversation of cold email being effective, I don't know about you, but a 99x ROI on an email, essentially a cold email in your area for your service, targeting your specific audience, it makes sense from a business perspective. It makes just as much sense as the law of big numbers for the terrible side of cold email marketing, but you don't have the moral and ethical dilemmas that come with the solar installer, for example. So yeah, thanks guys for listening. If you like this video, please check out some of the other ones, and please like, share, subscribe, do all those doohickeys, and comments, questions, or concerns, challenge my thoughts, challenge my opinions below. I would love to hear your comments, and tune in for the next one. I'll see you soon.